David, who felt like life had nothing left to offer. He had tried everything: success, relationships, adventures, but none of it brought him peace. His job, once a source of pride, now felt hollow. His friends had drifted away, and he spent more nights in loneliness than he cared to admit. He had been raised in church, but as the years passed, he grew distant from faith, convinced that no one could help him, not even God. One cold evening, after yet another argument with his family, David found himself walking the streets, consumed by bitterness and despair. He had reached rock bottom, unsure of where to turn or if he even cared to anymore. As he walked past a small church, a flicker of light caught his eye. Inside, a group of people were gathered in prayer. David hesitated for a moment, then impulsively pushed the door open. The warmth of the room surrounded him, and for the first time in a long while, he felt something he couldn't quite name. There was a sense of peace, a presence that made his heart ache with longing. A kind woman approached him and gently invited him to sit. She didn't judge him for his disheveled appearance or his weary eyes. Instead, she smiled and said, "God loves you no matter where you've been or what you've done." David sat quietly, unsure of what to say or believe. But as the pastor began to speak about Jesus, about his love, his forgiveness, and the hope he offers, something stirred deep inside David's soul. He realized that all the things he had been chasing, success, validation, recognition, had never been enough because they weren't what his heart truly needed. The pastor invited anyone who wanted to accept Jesus into their heart to come forward. David stood up, trembling but with a flicker of hope in his chest. He walked to the front, and as he prayed for forgiveness and for the strength to follow Jesus, he felt a burden lift from his heart, as though a weight he didn't even know he had been carrying had been taken away. From that moment on, David's life began to change. His relationships healed, his heart softened, and he discovered a joy he had never known. The path ahead wasn't always easy, but he no longer faced it alone. Jesus walked with him, and that made all the difference. With each passing day, David grew more confident in the love and grace he had found. He began to share his story with others, and in doing so, he discovered that there were many like him, searching for hope in all the wrong places. David's life was no longer defined by despair, but by the incredible love of Jesus Christ. What once seemed impossible, hope, peace, and purpose, was now his reality. He had found something far better than anything the world could offer: salvation, grace, and the unshakable love of God.